guys, Brian Carper here with another tip of the week. This week I want to talk about the importance of your rod leverage when crappie fishing. I fish with a lot of clients and I go through some instructions at the beginning of each trip of how you want to present your bait, live bait, the crappie magnets, which we use a lot of now. And one of the most important aspects of crappie fishing and being successful on the water is being able to set the hook on a crappie and correctly reel him to the surface and into the boat. You're going to do a lot of work to get those fish to bite. You're going to find trees. You're going to get on top of them with your trolling motor. You're going to put a lot of effort in to making sure that you're in an area where you can be successful and get bites. So we want to make sure that when you get those bites, you can bring it home and get the fish in the boat. And this is an issue or a problem I see a lot that lowers people's percentage and the amount of fish they actually catch after they get into the boat. And what that is I always tell people with their live bait or with their soft plastics, when you're fishing your brush pile, to let it go all the way to the bottom, and then you want to reel it up a couple times off of the bottom and suspend it into the trees that we're fishing. And frequently I see people let it go all the way to the bottom. Well, they drop it down and then they reel it up a few times and then they keep their rod either level or they even keep it up. And as soon as I see that, or after it happens one time, I'll correct them. When they're down there and they get a bite and a crappie eats their lure, their live bait, and they're right here, they have just lost over 50% of the leverage that they had or they could have to successfully get that fish in the water, fish in the boat. And what happens is you set the hook right here, you lift it up, you set it, it's going to take a couple feet for that line to get tight, for the rod to absorb some of the strength and the force of the hook set. So by the time they set the hook and it's right here, their arms are way up in the air and they got this rod way up in the air trying to keep the pressure. And either two things happen: they miss it, or they set the hook on it, they get their arms up real high as far as they can, and then they got nowhere to go, so they try to reel up real quickly and they lose the tension on their line and the fish gets off. It happens, 9 times out of 10 that is the result of not setting the hook properly and having the right type of leverage and the strength of the line to be able to lift them up and bring them to the surface and swing them in the boat. So what we want to do is let it go all the way to the bottom, reel it up a few turns, and then instead of keeping your rod right here when you hold your minnow or you jig your crappie magnet, you want to keep it down. Keep it down towards the water. I let my rod maybe 6 inches or a foot off the surface. I point it down, so when I set the hook, as soon as I lift it up and set the hook, I've already got the fish, the hook set in the fish, and I'm starting to bring him up by the time I get to where most of my clients start, or beginner fishermen start. And so by the time you get it right here, you've already got them. Now when you lift your arms up, you start pulling them up, reeling them in, and you have plenty of time, and plenty of arms to be able to lift your arms, start fighting that fish in, maybe catch up a little bit so you can have more control with them. But nevertheless, when you get right here, you've got it. You've got the fish, you've got control, and you're going to be more successful getting that fish in the boat. So that is very, very key. So make sure when you're fishing to let it go to the bottom and point your rod tip towards the bottom. You'll be able to tell instantaneously that you will catch more fish, not lose as many fish, and just be more successful on the water. So use your rod. It's used for leverage. It's used to fight the fish. Let it do its job. Give it the time and the length here in your arms, the space to be able to take the force and then start bringing the fish up. You don't have to work so hard. So take that tip, apply it. I guarantee it will help you out in the long run. It's the best way, the only way to get fish in 9 times out of 10, and you will definitely enjoy this tip. So that is Brian Carper's tip of the week. And I also want to add in, we only got a few left, so we've almost finished up a whole year of tips. I believe this is tip 46, so we've got 52 weeks. We got 6 left. So I hope you enjoyed them. We'll try to get some good ones these last 6, and we thank you for watching, and we love your feedback. So that's Brian Carper's tip of the week, and y'all have a good one.